Alright, welcome to Five Lakes Garage. Today we're gonna have a little bit of story time, but yet then we're gonna get into something a little more technical. Alright. So a few weeks ago I get a phone call. Hey Mike, I got a flat tire. Which I'm like, okay, change it. But they don't know how to do it. So what we're gonna do today is trying to shed some light on just changing a tire on a car. There's different types of cars, there's different places for the jacks, there's safety, there's a lot of things that people just don't really think about. So we're going to do a quick video on how to do it. Basically everything that I'm going to show you today is stuff that I learned from my father. I know that some people don't have that luxury of having somebody there to teach them, so hopefully this will help you guys out. And also help myself out with a particular person that called me to change their tire, that maybe next time they can do it themselves. So we should be in good shape. So today our first victim here is our 2007 Honda Odyssey. This is our cruise mobile. This is what we use for long trips, vacations. You can fit a lot of stuff in there. There's only 5 of us, so there's a little bit of space for dogs or whatever. This thing has seen some road trips. We had a tonneau cover go through the windshield one trip. We had tires blow out. We've had alternator just get ripped off. The air conditioner clutch fell off. That was something else we had to fix. So today we're just going to change this tire. Now there's nothing wrong with this tire, but this will go to just about any vehicle. All right. So some of the things you really need to think about. Try to get it on level ground. So right now we have the luxury of being here in the shop. If you're stuck on the side of the road, try to find some level ground. You can roll it a little bit with a flat tire. It is not going to hurt it that much. But don't try to run it all the way down the road on a flat tire. You will mess up your rim, you'll mess up the tire, and it could just be a nail in it. You just have to patch it. So try to get level ground. Try to get off the road as much as you can, because people are crazy and they will run into you if you're not careful. Second thing you want to do is set your parking brake. Okay, I already got the parking brake set. Next thing you do, you want to chock the wheel. Use something, use a rock, something out of here, out of the inside, something. So, parking brake is already set. Let's go chock the wheel. All right, like I said, you use whatever you have available. In my case, I got a boot. It is better than nothing. Okay. All right, so we're back to the front of the wheel, front of the car now. Something else that you probably have noticed: my camera crew's back. I'm not sitting there holding it. I do the whole selfie thing. It doesn't work that very well. But we're gonna go ahead and jack this up. So first thing you want to do is familiarize yourself with your vehicle. Like I said before, every vehicle is a little bit different. This particular one, I already know where the spare tire is, I already know where the jack is, but in case you don't, look in your owner's manual. Let's go look at it over here. So you can go back into the back and look at index and say, up, spare tire. You go to the page. Okay, this looks like the back half of the vehicle. Hey, there's a cubby hole on the side, that's your spare tire. Right underneath that is your jack. So let's go get those. All right, so we're now at the back of the vehicle. So we're gonna take this cover, we're gonna rip it off. Ah. I know, I'm strong. Sorry. Okay, so you have your spare back here. Now one thing that you always really wanna do, every time you check your tire pressure, check all 5 wheels. Not just the ones that are on the side of the vehicle. Also check your spare. And all these newer cars have a safety, a space saver. So these, it's the same circumference around as your regular tire, but as you can see, it is a lot skinnier. So being that it's so skinny, it needs to be inflate to 60 PSI. Regular car tires about 30 to 38, somewhere around there, depending on the vehicle and the tire itself. These guys here take a lot more pressure because they are so small and we don't want to run it on the rim. So 60 PSI, always check that as well. So down here we're gonna have You have your jack tools. You also have your wrench. We're gonna put that, we're gonna take that with us. Then, now in order to get the jack out, you have to lower it down. All right, so you lower it down and you get your jack out. Yeah, that's how often you actually use your jack. So, we got our tools, we got our jack, and we have our spare. So let's go. All right, so all of these are the tools you're gonna need to do this particular job. We have the tool that's going to work with your jack to be able to scissor lift this up. Also have a lug wrench. This also dubs as the rotating tool for your jack. We're gonna need your spare tire. Now in this particular case, we have run flats. Now I did not like the run flats when they came with this. This is a 2007 Honda Odyssey Touring. And the problem with the run flats is that Michelin was the only people that make a tire for this. The dealership is the only place you can go to get tires for it. And they only last about 30,000 miles. We didn't like that. So when it was time to get new tires, we ditched these to go with the Hots. Yes, I know. We put rims on a minivan, but it's okay. My wife liked them. She said, let's go ahead and get these, and they're fine. So now it's only like $600 or $700 to put tires on this versus $1,400. Yes, $1,400 a set of tires. Now granted, it doesn't come with a spare because they're run flats. You don't need a spare. But some of the things you have to worry about. These are aftermarket rims. Okay, these take different lug nuts. These right here are the original lug nuts that came on this van. Now this is a 21 millimeter versus what is on these right now, which is a 19 millimeter, and that's the socket you're gonna need. Now both of them have the same stud pattern, everything like that, but you need different wrenches. Now, so in order to get these off, you need to have a 19 millimeter socket. Now I keep these in the van all the time because this wrench is not gonna fit, but you still need this. One, to jack it up with the jack, and the other one is because these lugs of these lug nuts really should not be used with that spare tire. So we keep the originals in the van at all times as well. I just stick them in the glove box and they're fine. All right, so we want to jack this up. Where do you jack it up? Well, let's find out. All right, so it's a really awkward position. That's fine. This is only for demonstration because you can do this by feel once you actually know what it is. Now, with vehicles like this, they are low to the ground. They do not have a solid axle or anything like that. So the area that you always want to pick it up at is on the pinch weld. Now, what is a pinch weld? This right here is the entire pinch weld. Now, if you look right here, there's a significant space right here that is reinforced. Now the front clip, the back clip, everything connects right over here. So this is the area that you want to jack it up from. There's usually a dent on one side and a dimple on the other side. So this is where you want to put your jack. So, put a jack there. That's righty tighty, lefty loosey. And here's something interesting just for the tidbit. Japanese car or van, jack made in Canada. It's a worldwide economy. All right, so we're gonna jack this up all the way to that pinch weld. All right, so one other thing too, if you look at the jack, you have this groove right here. This is where you want to put the pinch weld. If you put it over here, it could slip off. It could slip off. Don't want that. Let's put it right there. There we go. All right, so we're not going to jack this up all the way right now because first we need to break these lug nuts. If you do not break the lug nuts, you jack it all the way up, you break it, the wheel spins, you can get it off, but it's a pain in the butt. So we're going to take our socket and go through. Yep, that'll work. Yep, that'll work. Yep, that'll work. Oh no, that's not gonna work. Due to the fact that these are aftermarket rims, they have a lock on them. What is a lock? Well, they should give you your lock key. This right here will actually fit over that. And once I take it off, I'll show you. That, then you can put your 19mm socket on there and get that out. So, let's get these guys off. Now, alright, so we'll loosen that up. Now I'm not pulling these off. All I'm doing is breaking them free. Now actually, as you can see, I'm pulling up on this. Most people have a hard time doing that. So flip it over and use your body weight to push down on it. Alright? Now, all of these are broken free. Now before we jack this up, you always have to think about safety. One thing you always want to do, look how I'm standing. Well, squatting. I'm not sitting on the floor. I'm not, leaning over. I'm squatting. There's a reason for that. And my dad actually taught me this, and I still hold it to this day. You say you have it jacked up. You have this tire off. You're not on completely level ground. The jack sinks. This comes down. You're able to jump out of the way quickly. All right? If you're sitting on the floor, how fast can you get up? No. Squat. Don't get up. All right. So we got all these broke free. We're going to take our tool. We're going to stick it in. We're going to take our lug wrench, and then we can jack this up. Spin the tire. Notice that we're off the ground. You don't want to go too high on it because then you run into safety issues again. So all of these are broken free, so you can take your socket, pull these off. And while you're doing this, you can just sweat to death. It is 90 some degrees today. And I had to turn most of my fans off so you can hear me. So as soon as this is over, I'm turning them back on. Or I'm gonna jump in the pool. I don't know which. But I had to pay my camera crew with fishing this afternoon. All right, so we got one more left. And that's where your key comes in. There we go. Alrighty. So here's a closer look at the key. See, if you look inside here, you can see little knobs. They coincide with the knobs on your socket. On your lug nut. So you can take it off. So if somebody comes up here and says, "Man, I really like those rims," and I wouldn't blame them. They're really nice rims. They're dirty, but they're nice. Without that key, they're not going to be able to get it off. Now you can either put this in your purse, put it in your wallet, put it in your wherever, but you have to have it with you. So we're going to take this off. All right. So if I'm swapping out these tires, it's probably flat. All right. While you have it off, just take a quick scan, see if there's any nails, see if there's anything else in there, because you don't take your wheel off that often. Now, another thing too, aftermarket rims. If you look on the inside of this, I have a little plastic ring. So what this is for is that these rims can fit on multiple vehicles. Now this little plastic ring fits inside your rim, and it also fits on top of your hub. And what that does is actually center it on the hub. So make sure that stays with the rim. So we're going to take this off, put this out of the way, but that's not what we're going to do here. Now, if I'm on the side of the road, and we're all talking about safety, take your tire while you're putting your other one on, stick it underneath the car. Again, safety. Whew. So, we're going to take our spare. Now, also, while you're in here, now's a perfect time. Look at your brake pads. These are fairly new. They got plenty of pad on them. You know, check your brake lines. It's not leaking. It's not frayed. It's not anything. You know, anything obvious. I'm not saying doing a full service. Just take a look at it. So we're gonna put our wheel back on. There we go. So now, if you look at these two lug nuts, this is the one we just took off with the aftermarket rims. This is the original. And as you can see, the inner diameter of the stud is exactly the same. But this one has a lot bigger surface area around the beveled edge. So we want to use these. These are the originals. We're going to sit here and we're going to put all 5 of them on. All right, so we have those in. Is this going to work? No. Because like I said, this is 19, that's 21. But you still have your originals. You take it and you swirl it. All right, one other thing that you want to always do, you get your wheel on. All right, she's kind of wobbly because I only got one lug nut on there. Now, most people would just want to take it to here, turn that one, turn this one, turn this one, turn it. You don't want to do that because if it's jammed to the side, it's going to wobble and it's going to be crazy. So go diagonal, skip one. This one only has 5. So we can go down to this one. Uh-oh. Well, that's going to take forever. So, and we're going to snug it up. Snug this one up. All right, so I'm going to skip this one, go to this one. You always want to go diagonal. Here, let's speed this up. Turn it down. Turn it down. There we go. All right, so we have them snugged. We don't have them torqued yet because we're going to put some weight on it to make sure that it's not going to spin. It's not going to give it unnecessary torque on the transmission. All right, so we're going to get our chock out of the way. Get our bad tire out. Then I'm going to put our tool back in. So now I have most of the weight back on this tire. I don't have all of it yet because we want to torque it down now. Now it's on the ground, it shouldn't move. So I know that not everybody has a torque wrench, but you can stop in any tire shop and stuff like that. They should have some there that you can use. All right, so these are 1/2 inch studs. So we're gonna go to 100 foot-pounds. That's just what I do. Some people go 90, actually that's 105. We'll crank it down to 100, beautiful. All right, so when we're gonna do this, we wanna push down on it, slow and I need my other socket, one second. All right, so when I kept saying it was 21 millimeter, I lied, it's a 22. It's okay. So anyway, so the proper way to use a torque wrench, you don't go, you don't jerk on it. It's slow, easy pressure. And just go down until it clicks. Ready? You hear that click? That means you're good. That's right at 100 foot-pounds. Alternate. There we go. There we go. All right, so now we're torqued all the way around. You put that down. Now, if you do not have a torque wrench, it's okay. You can just take your lug wrench and just torque it down to where you feel that it's good. Now, if you do go and over torque these, I have seen so many shops will go out there and take a impact and keep going around and around and around. And what that, it's actually warping your rim. If you see one of your shops do that with the impact, tell them that you won't be coming back. Okay? So, one more time around just to make sure, because one thing that terrifies me, if I ride down the road and the wheel falls off. I know a couple friends that actually happened. And that was like a big 35-inch tire, rolled down the road. Okay, so we're good to go here. Some other things that you want to be concerned about. This is a lot smaller tire. You do not have the grip like you had before. The original tire, a lot bigger contact patch. You can take corners, you should be fine. Also, one thing about this is not made like those. This is not a true radial. So it doesn't have the bands and stuff like that. Don't go over 50 miles an hour with this thing. If you go much faster than that, the tread will rip off. Not only that, most people carry their spare for the life of the vehicle. This thing is a 2007. This is pretty much would have been like the original wheel for that. All right, it stays in the back, it doesn't get used, so it doesn't dry rot and all the other type of stuff. So that's how we changed the tire there. All right, so we just did the Honda Odyssey, big Sexton mobile there. Beautiful. Now we're on the Taco, which if you have seen all the other videos, you'll see how I'm feeling about said Taco. I'm still working with Orange Virus tuning to try to get them, their system and my system to actually talk to each other. Had a few laptop issues and we need to get that taken care of. So hopefully this week we'll be able to get it tuned and you will be able to see that video when I have my happy one, unlike my sad one. So still on changing a tire. Now this is a little bit different. It is a truck. So most of the stuff is exactly the same, but lift points and stuff like that is a little bit different. Because if you go all the way up here and do on the pinch weld when you're trying to lift this up, this is a cab and a bed. This right here is not strong enough to be able to lift up the whole truck. So you have to go down to the frame, or in this case it's going to be the axle, so that we can actually lift this guy up. Now this does have a solid rear axle. The front is IFS. That's a little bit different, but but most of it's all pretty much the same. So let's go look at the owner's manual. Oh, look at it, she's so pretty. Still in the plastic. Now, if you have a 3rd gen Tacoma, you can look it up. I'm not gonna take my plastic off because I already know what I'm doing. Okay, so now we're in the back seat. So my jack, pull up the back. I'm gonna open this up. There we go. Look at that, we have a jack, we have our tools. And what else do I see? Yes, Be Cool. Actually rewatched that again the other day. It was awesome. The Rock is hilarious with his red boots. So anyway, so we're gonna get our jack out. Got our jack, we got our tools. Now, let's go to the spare. All right, so on the Odyssey, the tire rail's on the inside. Well, here on the Tacoma, it's underneath. Most pickups have a little cutout right here, right above the bumper, and they give you a lot of rods. And you have to put all these in there together in order to reach your spare tire. So you have all your rods together. Now we're gonna stick it in, and then you can feel it. It should guide you in there. So now I'm in there. Now, take my lug wrench, like we had before, stick it in there. You got a little safety pin. Safety in there. And then we're just gonna undo it. And you should be able to see the tire come all the way down.
Cool.
Yep. So now you have your spare tire down, you can pull that out and be able to put that on. So this guy's down. Let's get our jack. All right. So this jack is a little bit different than the other one. The other one was a scissor jack. This is more of a screw type jack. So I'm gonna go all the way up. So where are you gonna put it? Well, if you're on the side of the road, chances are you're just gonna get dirty. It's right in the middle of the leaf spring bracket here. So then we can actually use all of our wrenches and our tubes. And then you have a little hook. You're gonna hook it up just like the other one. And then they're long enough where you can be way back here. And jack it right up. Now this particular type of jack is mostly for Toyotas that I've seen. Most everybody else has scissor ones. You have your spare, you have it up off the ground. We're gonna break these loose. We're gonna pull the tire off. Just like the other one, parking brake is set, the wheel is chocked. We're on levelish ground. Pull this off, put the other one on there. And that's pretty much it. The rest of it's all pretty much the same. I'm pretty sure you don't want to see me take another tire off. And I really don't want to have to put another one back on. Especially one on this one that only has like 9,000 miles on it, or 10,000, whatever. So, anyway, I hope this helped a little bit. Just leave a comment if you wanted to see something else. Later on, we'll just do some other simple maintenance things like change the oil, diff fluids, you know, that type of thing. On the Wagoneer here, still need to get back onto that. It's still not well, but maybe on that one, I do have a front diff cover, and I'll show you how to seal that up and get that going as well. So anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Hopefully this helps. I'm actually going to get my wife to watch this one, just so that to make sure she understands how to change a wheel. So until then, keep on getting on, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks.